thoughts blurred with sleep and a painful erection trapped in the elastic waistband of his pajama pants, Micah reached blindly for his phone. He knew exactly who that annoying ringtone belonged to. "What do you want?" he snapped into the speaker, voice only a little slurred after managing to accept the call after the third attempt. Micah refused to open his eyes, desperately holding on to the lingering remnants of his dream. There was a moment of silence, then Tessa spoke. "Someone's cranky. Your mafia boyfriend is still away on business, I take it." Micah groaned. Had he really been woken up from that dream for this? "You know he's not due back until Monday," he pointed out, not bothering to hide his annoyance. "And can you make the finger quotes around the word business any more obvious? Your disapproval wasn't as blisteringly scornful as usual." Tessa huffed. "I'll make sure to do better next time." "Be sure you do." Except that next time ended up being half a second later. "I mean, I just don't get it," she exclaimed over the phone. "The man has to know that you know he's full of shit when he tells you he needs to leave the country for an important business gathering." There were those finger quotes again. "He could at least grow a pair and tell you what mafiosos he's meeting up with and why." Micah sighed tiredly. "You know as well as I do that Damon doesn't like talking to me about work-related stuff." Tessa clicked her tongue in disapproval. The woman had made it clear over the past month that she didn't like how Damon kept Micah in the dark about that part of his life. As for Micah, he understood why Damon thought it was necessary. While he was in the hospital healing from the injuries inflicted upon him by the hooker hunter, he hadn't been sure he even wanted to know what Damon's job as a mafia don entailed. It wasn't until a few weeks later, when Tessa let him know how much it bothered her, how much it ought to bother him, that it occurred to Micah that he did, in fact, want to know. Burying his head in the sand and pretending that Damon didn't regularly get his hands bloody in a bid to uphold his family's empire may have been a tempting prospect, at first, but it simply wasn't in Micah's nature to remain willfully ignorant. No matter how painful the truth may be, Micah wanted it, and he would accept it, because it was Damon. And he loved Damon. All of him. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Even if he hadn't actually worked up the nerve to say the words to the man again after that first time, when he'd been asphyxiated into near unconsciousness. The problem was Damon didn't seem keen on telling him, and as the days passed, Micah couldn't help but feel it was because the man didn't trust him. Not that Micah could blame him, considering how they had met. Unfortunately, that didn't make it hurt any less. "Yes, Micah, I'm aware," Tessa said, yanking him from his thoughts. "He just distracts you with kisses and baked goods and his mystical dong, which apparently makes logical thought fly right out of that pretty little head of yours whenever you bring up his job." Micah pouted, not that Tessa could see it.